when you are watching this, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to the Creators Hub Masterclass, brought to you by Pam Nyaga, of course. The whole thing about it is empowerment. So we bring people that are making a step in the right direction in terms of their craft, their arts, what they are doing. This is our first panelist, so to say, people of the internet, with Chef Lee. He's going to talk about what he does, how he does it, his challenges. Sometimes, so you shouldn't mind me. But he's going to talk about himself and what he cooks, obviously, hence the name Chef. So without any further ado, people of the internet and the people sitting here, I'm just going to sit here and listen to Chef Lena talk. And then please feel free, wherever you are, if you want to post questions for him or send comments, do as you feel. My name is Stand Up Boom Songero. I am a supermodel, but today this is what I'm doing. So without further ado, Chef Linda, introduce yourself. Let us know, let the people know, man, and then we want to eat your food afterwards.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. I greet everyone. It's in the name of my Lord and Savior. Okay, but my name is Chef Linda, as he has mentioned. Coming from Newcastle in Madadeni, Section 5. That's where I grew up.
Represent.
And I started my lower primary studies at Ntombego Primary School. And then after that, I went to Tubani Higher Primary. And then after that, I went to Sabela High School. During my high school years...
Is your higher primary one of those? No, SSS.
No.
Senior secondary school.
Or the high school.
Oh, that is SSS.
Yeah. So during my high school years, I actually wanted to be a chartered accountant. I wanted to become accounting or commercial subject. But there was this passion, there was this fire burning inside of me of becoming a chef. But I wasn't sure. Because you know this mentality where when we grew up from our parents, from our siblings, when they just want to inject you to become something that they want you to be. Yes.
Did you always cook though?
Yes, I always cooked. Actually, my dad was cooking, so I grew up watching my dad cooking.
Sure.
That he is the inspiration behind this thing that is happening today. So, and then I started buying food magazines. I started buying just any magazine, has a Tramos, has a True Love, there's this food section at the end.
Okay, sure.
Then I'll try those recipes on Christmas Day, and then I'll invite neighbors to come and feast with us. But the aroma while I'm cooking was inviting, without me sending the invite.
Like those adverts.
Yeah, you know that chef leaders do his thing. Okay, but at that time, I was not a chef.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. So I started trying those recipes, and then people would feast. There was a year where, when I was after my matric, I was just sitting, not doing anything. There was no finances. I was a bit confused. I was lost. But God stepped in. I'm a Christian, by the way, and I'm not scared. I'm not ashamed of that. God stepped in and then showed me the direction, and then He sponsored me with some finances. And then I wanted to do hospitality. But it was so difficult because everyone around me was like, no, Dynamite, why if we want to be a chef? Chefs are slaves, chefs are this, blah, blah, blah. But they don't look at it with this mentality. I was looking at this chefing thing.
From a passion point of view.
Yes, but also to be a chef, you cannot only be just a chef. There are a lot of careers or there are a lot of job opportunities that comes with the title of being a chef.
Just cook.
Yes, you can be a nutritionist if you're a chef, because you are a chef that knows. While I was studying, I did nutrition. So there's this say that says, I don't trust a skinny chef, I trust only a a beast chef.
Yes.
No, a beast chef is the chef that you must go with because he knows how to keep your tummy flat.
Sure.
You know, he knows what to feed, what is healthy for your body.
Yeah.
And then you can be a menu planner. You can do a menu planning for restaurants if you're a chef.
That's
like
a
you can
good
go
idea.
to Tramonto and sit and have food and say, this is, I like this. And then approach your owner and tell them, you know what, I do this, and this, and this. Actually, I want to help you improve your menu.
Sure.
You can be, okay, I've mentioned nutritionist. You can do a planning for kitchens.
Sure.
Like many kitchens, they have a lot of hazards. They don't know what the safety in the hospitality industry, how the staff, how chefs should wear the safety shoes, all of those things. So people just look at it like you are just behind the scenes with pots, you are chopping, and it's not that case. You know, you can release a cookbook if you're a chef. You can host cooking sessions like cook along,
I mean,
music,
you see this thing all the time.
chill with Chef
All the
Linda.
times,
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a lot that comes with the title of being a chef. And then I went to Majuba FET College. I did my national certificate in hospitality management. And then after that, I went to Capsicum Culinary Studio. It's a private school for culinary arts.
Sure.
I went there, I did international diploma in food preparation and cooking.
Sorry. Culinary, for those of you who are not reading the subtitles, it also involves food. Culinary. Yeah. No. We are serious about this thing, guys.
Yeah.
It's culinary. No, it's culinary.
Culinary. Yes. Yeah, and then after that, I went to Capsicum Culinary Studio to do my international diploma in food preparation and cooking. And then I was hired at Oyster Box as a sous chef. A sous chef is a helper of the executive chef, the higher chef that takes decisions, that hires and fires.
It gets crazy in the kitchen, doesn't it? It gets crazy. From the head chef,
if you are weak, you won't survive in the kitchen because the insults. Actually, when you are a chef, you have to be very, very strong and you have to be very, very accurate and know that this is what you want, this is your passion, and grab it with both hands and run with it. Because they swear, they insult, like they don't give.
I've seen the head chef, like the sous chefs will prepare something and they'll make it, and then the head chef will see something.
Yeah.
And then he just pauses by him.
Yeah, and then you have to start afresh. While he's doing that, the waiter is waiting there. He wants the plate, and he's not fighting with the kitchen manager, he's fighting with you.
Yeah.
And the floor manager from the restaurant is calling you, he's fighting with you. And the other slaves are coming in, and you guys are coming to eat in my restaurant. So it's very challenging. And you have to be like very purpose driven to pursue that career. And then after that, I was hired at Oyster Box as a sous chef, and then I got retrenched. I think God was taking me out of the comfort zone. I was too comfortable. Yeah, it's fine with this.
Cooking rice.
Yeah, as long as I can buy it all.
Cook some mincemeat as well.
Yeah, but like there's more in life.
Sure.
If you have potential, you can just go wherever you want and become whatever. You can be anything that you want to be.
Sure.
You just don't have to limit yourself. And then after Oyster Box, I worked at Beverly Hills as a waiter.
Beverly Hills.
Yes, in Devon.
Oh, he says yes, in Devon. I'm thinking Beverly Hills, LA. I'm like, yo.
No,
I was gonna stop this interview and let's go back there. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
sure.
Okay, after Beverly Hills, I worked at that restaurant is not existing anymore. It was closed down.
Because of you?
No. It's called Rimos. It's just there. Just down by the building. What's the name of the palace? Yeah. So it's called Rimos. So there I was a kitchen manager. I was firing, I was hiring, I was ordering stock, I was counting stock, I was just doing everything. I was checking I was buying the kitchen uniform stuff, everything to me.
The
Kalis gave me some. And then they opened another restaurant called Old Town Italy. I don't know if you know it. There's one in behind Gateway next to that garage that sells Porsche cars. Yeah, there's a restaurant there called Autumn Italy.
Oh, there.
Yeah, behind Gateway.
No idea.
Yeah. You guys must go to these places, you know.
I need
You must.
some more.
There's this mentality. I don't know with black people. Okay, not only black people, just any tourist. I'm sorry to.
It's fine. We are here for
Like
this.
you are in Newcastle. You eat at Wimpy. You eat at Steers. You are used to this franchise.
Sure.
And then when you travel, you go to Johannesburg. You also go and eat breakfast at Wimpy.
We'll still.
Try something new. Try Old Town Italy. Try olive oil. Experience different type of cuisine from different type of cultures, different type of customs.
Ube culinary.
Yeah, we're culinary.
Ube
But
culinary.
that also comes with being a foodie. But
Sure.
if you try to check engine and hold you, then it's fine.
I'm
You just
moving.
relax.
That's
And there's nothing wrong with eating animal.
I
It's to support our mothers, and you know, there's nothing wrong at all with that.
So then you oyster and then
Yes.
by that restaurant there.
Yes,
And
Old Town Italy. And then they transferred me from Old Town Italy, Devon, to Old Town Italy in Main in Pretoria. There I was a kitchen manager again. Oh, then things got a little bit, the boat was shaking.
Oh.
Because why? That's where I actually discovered the full potential of Chef Linda.
Sure.
Who Chef Linda is. You know, not just supporting someone's dream, go behind the scenes, chop on
You have your own.
create beautiful plated dishes. But it's my talent, and you give profit, you get profit, and then you just give me peanuts. You know,
So that's where you reach boss level.
yes, and then I was like, you know what? Okay, I see here there's this nice salad. Why don't I start doing something like private chef and go do intimate dinners into these millionaire houses here around?
Instead of waiting for them to come. to
Yeah,
you.
I started that. So my colleagues, Baba Nichilas. So Bambim, I would say, hey chef, now it's doing private. Yeah, okay, and because I was getting gigs like this, you know, sometimes I'll even ask the manager, the front of house manager, the general manager of the store to change their roster so that he can accommodate me for weekend. They're like, no, why you always asking for weekends off now? You must be like other kids, you are not special. And then when time goes by, they thought maybe I'm taking the restaurant recipes, I'm trying them on my private days. So, and then I was also retrenched there. But besides being retrenched, the ship was shaking, the restaurant was not doing very well financially, so they couldn't afford me anymore. That's where I picked it up with, you know, you guys, and some afford. So yeah, and then I was retrenched, and then I started in Pretoria for 1 year, and then I came back in Newcastle. And then when I came back in Newcastle, that was maybe last year. I started in Newcastle and immediately ngathi mangifika la Newcastle when I arrived, lockdown started.
Okay.
Hey, and then when lockdown started, there were no weddings, there were no graduation parties, there were no events, because even if there's no wedding, there's no graduation parties, like maybe there's a music festival, I will go and work there, put my food stall, sell burritos, rolls, burgers, chips, drinks, all of those things. So there was always a job opportunity for me. I couldn't sit and wait for someone to hire me. No. But the lockdown happened, and that actually affected everyone. If you say you are not affected by lockdown, please give us the secret. Okay, Palabas, no, it's okay, but it's fine. It's for another day. Okay, and then after that, lockdown happened. No functions, no events, nothing. You just go out to buy essentials.
For sure.
Now, where is the next income going to come from? Bills are waiting for me. And in Dala, I was looking for money. I understand money. So I remember I was in my bedroom, sleeping, and I was watching Food Network, and there was this chef baking a cake. And then I followed. I've never baked a cake in my life. And yes, I did a little bit of pastry at school, but it was not that much.
Pastry falls under calendar, guys.
Actually, baking, yes. If you talk about pastry, talking about cakes, buns, cookies, dough. Yes.
Get one.
We're talking about flour.
Sure.
So after that, after watching that chef baking a cake, and then a small voice like came into my mind, and then I was like, why don't you start following that recipe from that chef?
How small was the voice? Was it like, exception?
No, it was a thought, you know, I thought, but I refer it to as a still small voice, you know, us as Christians to say, still small voice, the Holy Spirit.
Yeah. Intuition, yeah.
Yes, and then that thought came, and then I woke up immediately. I remember I had 100 rand, 100 rand. I woke up, I went to Spa, I took 1 kg of flour, I bought 2 eggs, I bought 1 liter of milk, I bought baking powder, 1 sachet, like parrots, more like 2 tablespoons.
It's so weird, sorry to disturb, it's so weird because I think that's how I was introduced to you by
baking.
The cake, yes.
Yeah, so I baked that cake, I followed the recipe. I remember, and then I was so scared, I was trembling, I was so shy because the cake was so ugly. I was scared even to post it on social media. The people would just laugh at me, he's crazy. You know, but I was like, you know what, let me do this. I woke up, I wore this helmet of self-confidence, and I was bold like a lion. When it's targeting the springbok and the lamb, that looking is but he won from, or the eagle. Flying, and then the speed is around you. It has its weird. That was me. The cake, took the picture, posted it on Facebook with my number attached. And then I was like, guys, I'm selling cakes. The costing of that cake, I did it on Facebook. Some people commented, how much? Maybe they were like, 5, how much? Oh my God, how much? And then quick, I was like, okay, spend money, spend 100 rand. Okay, include electricity, include labor, include okay, I'm giving it up because I was walking. But if being petrol, things like include
as a business, yes.
Yeah, and that's another thing that they fail to do costing. That's why many black people businesses, they're shutting down, and they don't want to think out of the box. Everyone is selling kota, everyone is selling muhodu. Why? Because and 2 weeks down the line, now it's closed. Why? Because from the word go, it was not your business idea value. So that's why you are not surviving. And there was another business ethics, you didn't do business management, or besides that, you didn't do a proper investigation on how to run a business properly.
And then you do the costing so that you can know, okay, my labor is this much.
Yeah. So people rather are busy but are profits but are busy because abantu out there are finding cheap. So how expensive
quantity over quality.
Yes. So when I'm busy, but you're not making profit, brother. You know. So I did costing over social media, and then people started buying my cakes. I started watching YouTube videos on how to become a proper baker or become a pastry chef. I'm still on the journey. I'm not perfect, but getting there. I'm getting there, and then every day I started watching videos. I started baking. Like I was baking naked cake. If I'm talking about a naked cake, I'm talking about it's just sponge, cream, sponge, and then maybe some strawberries.
Yeah, it's naked. It's not a cake that's not wearing clothes.
Yeah.
One thing cake.
It's not themed. It's not fondant. It's not a themed cake, it's not dressed, just a naked cake.
Okay.
Yeah, you even find naked cakes from Woolies, from Spa.
Yeah, depends on the taste. I want to see a naked cake.
Yes, and then I wanted to grow now. I didn't want to stay average and be just mediocre. I'll check on YouTube on how to do a birthday cake, on how to do like a Spider-Man cake, on how to do frozen cake for young ladies. Yeah, and then all of those things started building up. I developed those skills until today. Like now, if you can see how it started, a cake, and how it's going.
Sure.
Two different people. there's improvement.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I really appreciate that taking stock
Yes.
of how far you've come.
Yes.
So from that first cake you posted on Facebook
Yes.
to the cakes you're making now,
Yeah.
it's probably, you probably get a bit embarrassed.
Yeah, there's growth. Yeah, but actually you are embarrassed, but at the same time you're like, wow, because you are going to grow, improvement.
Sure.
And then I started selling food as well, food takeaways, and then I'll do a Monday menu, Tuesday menu, Wednesday menu, until Fridays. But I saw that that was costing a lot of wastage and a lot of running around, me going to town, coming in, and then I decided to do just run one menu per week, change it,
Okay.
like have 4 menus in a month.
Okay.
So because there's 4 weeks in a month. So you run this one.
No way, there's 4 weeks in a month.
Yeah, 4 or 5, 4.
Of course. I'm playing with.
Yeah, so I'll run one menu per week,
Sure.
one menu per week, and then with these birthday cakes, and then I started to do platters as well. I started to do dessert, and that people of Newcastle, everyone, it was flooding. Even today, they are supporting me, and I really appreciate the support they've given me.
I've had some of the platters. So.
Yeah, so the support has been phenomenal, very, very supportive, and that brought big brands to recognize and to want to partner with me.
Sure.
Like Lucky Star, like Cool, like Escort, Escort, the Russians, the bacon eating every morning, Champagne Moet in Channel. The list is endless. What's this other brand that I've in a partner's kitchen? The spices and the sauces, and the salad dressings. When you go to Pimpila Pali, in a partner's,
That's amazing, man.
I heard one.
They're running Lucky Star, guys. Who needs something with Lucky Star? And here's a man who's partnered with Lucky Star. Lucky Star, guys. Lucky Star.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man.
So I was approached by those brands. They wanted to partner with me because they saw that this guy is doing well during lockdown. Everyone is suffering, everyone is lost, everyone is confused, everyone is not making it financial. But this guy is pushing and is saying, then they say, you know what, bruh, here are products for free. We supply you.
Please do something.
Tell us how much you want us to pay you so that you can work up with the product, create recipes, and tell people while they are sleeping, they are sitting at home so that they can cook with that product. Because they don't have anything to do. They're just sleeping. During lockdown, you just wake up, you bath, you brush your teeth, you watch TV, you try to sleep, you go to the bathroom, you go to pee, only that, and sometimes TV can be so tiring. And then they gave me those products, and then I started creating recipes. I'll post them on my Facebook. If anyone here is following me on social media platforms, they will know what I'm talking about.
What are those names, in fact, while we are on that subject? Where's Chef Lindo on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter?
Okay. So on Instagram, I'm at Chef Linda Nigati, at Chef Linda Nigati. Instagram. Facebook, Zibusiso Nikati. Facebook. Twitter, everything small letters, at Chef Linda Mni, at the end, MNI, at Chef Linda MNI at the end.
You heard that. If you didn't hear that, just rewind it and then follow the guy.
Yeah. So they started sponsoring me with their product. I started creating recipes. I'll post them on social media. People would try them and give them feedback and tag that brand so that it proves that they've tried my recipes.
How does that work? Can you, for instance, in comedy, you can't really patent a joke.
Yeah.
Someone can steal your joke and go use it somewhere else. How does that work when it comes to
recipes?
To the chef industry, the recipes?
You have to. There's this app now that is called Watermark. Like you watermark your pictures. Like for instance, a cake or a food picture, you watermark.
But can you patent a recipe? Can you say?
Yes, you can. It's difficult because they can actually, even if you can watermark it, you can say Chef Linda's the recipe. They can still take and write it on the side. Yeah, it's always the case. I think it's kind of works.
Is it one of those where you are just happy that your recipe is all over?
No, you cannot be happy when your recipe is all over, not without your permission.
Okay, cool.
You are happy if your recipe is all over with your permission and you are being paid for that.
Okay.
And you can be happy with your recipe being all over from your recipe book. They say now the recipe, everyone is buying my book, so they are posting, I'm trying Chef Linda's recipe, and they are tagging me.
Do you know?
And they acknowledge that it is my recipe. They make it.
As a chef, do you know the secret herbs and spices that KFC uses? Is something that all chefs know? Because if I had that, why would we need to go to KFC?
Actually, with that, I don't know. Yeah. But with the aroma and the taste, I can create. I can come up with the recipe because I know.
KFC up after this. We never going to KFC again. We were Chef Linda.
Yeah, so the support has been amazing, man. And then I worked with those companies, and then after that, I was recognized by GQ magazine South Africa as one of top 5 chefs in South Africa, 2021 chefs to watch.
Sure.
I remember I was in Cape Town, I was sleeping towards the morning, and then I was going to I grabbed my phone, and then I was like scrolling on my social media platform, and then something popped up, a notification says, GQ South Africa tagged you. I was like, GQ, am I dreaming? Okay, maybe it's just a dish, maybe a food picture, but a recipe. Let me see. Top 5 chef in South Africa.
And it is how many chefs is there? Probably over
2021.
So top 5, guys. Top 5. Top 5. We talk about top 5 when it comes to like hip hop, and everyone has a top 5, and then GQ, and I feel in association. Now I was there. GQ recognized us together.
Yeah. And then after that, after seeing that notification from my phone, and then like I went to GQ's page, I wanted to see what is it that they take me on. Top 5 chefs. 2021 chefs to watch in South Africa. And then there was this chef called Aya, the cook dude from Cape Town. He's amazing. There's this other chef from Joburg. 3 of them. They're from Joburg, one from Cape Town, and from Newcastle. And then I was like, oh my gosh, who am I? Who am I? Tears started rolling down my face, but tears of joy, obviously. I was so excited. It was so overwhelming. And then after that, I was approached by Afternoon Express on SABC 3. They invited me as their guest chef based on that nomination from GQ. And then I did a cook along there. And then after that, I was invited by the morning show on ETV. Yeah, and then after that, Afternoon Express sent me an invite again to go and do an audition with them to be their regular guest chef.
Okay.
I was so scared, I was so trembling. I was like, you know what, there's so many talented chefs in Cape Town, I won't make it. But they paid my flights, they paid for my accommodation. I went there, I did the interview, the audition. I came back again, I got the response, the feedback. They're like, congratulations, you made it on being our regular guest chef on Afternoon Express. So after 2 weeks or every 4 months, a month, I'll go to Cape Town to do the Afternoon Express. And then also, there are so many things that happened. And then after that, while I was in Cape Town, I was approached by Cape Town Media and Lifestyle, some organization or company. They did an interview with me. It's a beautiful article. You guys must read it. I'll share with you the link.
Please do.
Yeah, I did the interview there. So that's been my journey ever since my high school till today. God has been so amazing, and right now I'm working on my cookbook.
I was gonna ask about what can we expect from Chef Linda, except you're GQ guys. GQ, you know what GQ magazine? Imani has a GQ magazine. Okay, you guys are used to Ibona, which is, there's nothing wrong with those magazines. Move is like 4 pages long. GQ magazine. What is happening now? But we know from lower primary, senior secondary,
high school,
and why is that? Because GQ said we must look out for you in 2021. It's 2021 now. What is happening and what is going on?
Yeah. So as I've mentioned, that I'm currently working on my cookbook that is going to be released anytime soon when it's ready. You know, with the cookbook, there are a lot of errors. You can think you are done. But there are spelling errors, the images are blurry, there are a lot of things that I'm still working on. And then, yes, cookbook, and then I'm still also trying to find a spot here in Newcastle where I can open my restaurant. Sure. It's not easy to find that here in Newcastle, but I'm praying to God that He will make a way for it to happen. Because this whole Chef Linda's idea thing that is happening, I think it's here.
What type of restaurant should be expected?
Obviously, gourmet restaurant. Like, I feel like in Newcastle we don't have that 5-star experience kind of vibe restaurant. Yes, we have. I don't want to mention names.
Yes, but you have those.
But we have. But when I go, me as a foodie and dine there,
you can see
there's still room for improvement.
And and I appreciate that you don't want to go, you're not at that point in your life where you go to these restaurants and say, can I please help? You are at the point where let me create my own.
Yeah. I was so disappointed yesterday. I went to the mall, like the mall there by next to Upper Park. I won't mention the restaurant, but I ate a plate.
It's probably no. It's probably
So I've ordered a plate with a steak, with chicken, with the ribs and some chips. What they brought me. So I wanted to substitute a steak, a pork steak with a beef steak.
Sure.
Okay, they told me that the costing is different, so the price will be higher. They offered me beef kebabs. They said, okay, we'll do beef kebabs. You know that meat that is just...
Yeah, I know the people,
yeah. And then I was like, okay, cool, it's fine. And then first of all, my food took long. And then second of all, I've ordered vegetables, but they brought in onion rings and chips. So after waiting for that 15 minutes or more, waiting for my food, I had to send the food back again so that they can change the vegetables. And then, okay, now the food is here, they've changed the vegetables, now I'm eating. The food, the kebabs, they are chewy, they are dry, they are tasteless, they are rubbery, they are that's been sitting in the fridge for a long time. And people must know that food goes off even if it's in the fridge, it rots. You cannot say, there's a lifespan for food. The food ingredients that have a long lifespan, and they're perishables that have a short lifespan. Sure. Like chicken, you cannot buy chicken holding A1. They say, I tell you, no, sometimes the chicken can even develop mold while sitting in the fridge. Like even talking about bread, simple example. After 2 days, it's in the shortest lifespan. After 2 days, you're going to mold, boy, and I had to send back my plate. I was so disappointed because I was so hungry and I was looking forward to have that meal. You know, when you wake up and then you go to the restaurant to who's busy inviting something so and then they disappoint you. Sometimes they even disappoint you with the coffee, so it's cold.
It's lukewarm.
I understand when the restaurant is busy, but there should be communication from the waiter to the front of house manager to the chefs.
It trickles down
in the kitchen and then to the customer, you know. So the waiter, he's serving one of those people that I'm a foodie. I know.
know exactly what time.
I would think but when I go to the restaurant, I want to experience a proper customer service
Sure.
and excellent. Like your window should be here.
And I feel that's what we can expect from your spot. About from the kitchen.
And I will think after this, when you come to my restaurant and you're not getting that from carrot.
I'm coming to
what?
that.
You remember this?
Yeah, I remember. There's what they say is when it comes to food, is it 80% presentation and 20% taste?
Yes, and that's the problem. It shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't be like
the other way
that.
around.
So the food should
yes. And then I sent back my food. The waiter was just playing cards with me, saying, the floor manager is coming. Then the floor manager was not coming. I saw that the waiter was actually scared because now I got food which could be a complaint.
Sure.
Oh, now the front of house manager is gonna go have carrot, go chef who's someone is getting a warning.
Yes.
So actually I got born, she is actually destroying the business. We are Louis because another problem that we have, our personality mentality the customer
customers always right.
That customer imagine, you know how I look at it per week, how many customers are not satisfied with my services per week, per day, per month, per year. So when I'm a customer that's always be happy with your service per year. So how many customers, how much you've lost?
Sure.
So and most of the restaurants are closing down and are surviving. I have value. Restaurant, I said, it's kitchen staff.
Service needs to
kitchen staff, theft. The waiters from the front of house manager are reporting complaints from the customers because bayavikela skill. But to figure where you are you said I'll do anything, I'll even sweep it and polish the floor. Please, I'm desperate for a job. But when you get to a job industry, a workplace, you find friends. Now you are disobedient. Now you are doing there's a clique, that's the problem. I called the manager myself, where I was working, a client was not supposed to wave. If the client is waving, that means as a waiter, you are not paying attention to your clients. Why they are waving, you should be there. Are you guys okay?
It should never come to that.
And the manager, the floor house, the front of house manager also will get a warning, because that means also now you're not paying attention why the customer is waving. Which good to now we pay table. Guys, are you okay? Guys, are you okay? Is everything like enjoying the food? You know. So that's the problem with the challenge we are facing in the hospitality industry. People, especially black people, they are not paying attention to small things, finer details. You know, sometimes where I used to work, they were even paying attention to cutlery. A glass, a white man will take a wine glass, ali itkanchi, abubut at the end fingers. If there's a finger, it's a red flag. I will tell you, a tip. And the white people, what they do, they go to social media platforms, they go to food pages,
they send emails,
they write reviews about your business, about Windy, about, you know, when I used to work at Beverly Hills, they will write a review, set reviews. They will call your food any name that you can think of that is disgusting or that can actually make your eyes tear. You know?
Chef, thank you, man, for being here. We've heard his journey, and it's not just about cooking.
Yeah.
And what the Creative Hub is here to do is to show the people out there that there's more to everything, and try to eliminate the mistakes that he's made mistakes, and no other chef should make those mistakes. You know, it's unnecessary. We are older brothers and older sisters to each other. So the mistakes that we've made to become what we are, they shouldn't affect you guys. You guys should know. And as now, what I'd like to do is just open up to the people who are here. If there's any questions, whether chef related or business related, in fact. Now, chef, guys, any questions?
Yeah, chef related, not medical related.
Are you going to ask him where he got his haircut?
I have questions.
Oh, okay, you have questions.
Should I shoot them at once or one by one?
Just one by one.
Okay. My question is, what are management skills you have acquired while working as a manager, which forms an essential skill of being an influential manager?
So your question is, can you please repeat that for me?
Okay.
No, you wrote them down. You want me to repeat that
I'm a journalist.
for me? No, nobody cares.
All right.
We are here to see Chef no career, next to Kosako.
Okay, my question is, what are management skills you have acquired while working as a manager, which form an essential skill in being an influential manager or being a great leader?
Yeah, okay, I understand. Can I answer?
You can do anything you put your mind to, obviously.
Okay, I think one of them is being, like, I've acquired a very, like, so much strength. So me working there, it gives me strength, like, to become the person that I am today, to face any challenges in life. Like, I can say strength, conqueror, like, you can bring your biggest punch, I won't fall. Even if I fall, I wake up, I dust, and then I carry on.
Sure.
Yeah, something like that.
And then the guy who sang that song died.
Yeah, I can say strength, being a conqueror or an overcomer. Trying to that doesn't give up easily.
Perseverance.
Yeah, perseverance, and yeah, I think those are the characteristics or the skills while I was working there, or while during my journey till today. You know, I'm not easily shakeable.
So, brother in red.
No, I've heard you saying that you see a lot of black businesses are failure to do costing.
Yeah.
What would you advise to a new business? Let's say I want to open up a restaurant just here in the corner. How would you advise me in terms of costing? And my last question is, similarly, you've got a lot of support from Abantu Banakini when you started. Are you planning to give back to your community? Yes, how are you going to do so?
Wow, that's like
so twofold question.
Yeah.
What he can give, what advice would he give in terms of costing? And because he's mentioned in the community what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, bro.
Yeah,
he's not even a journalist.
Yeah. Okay. First question about the costing part. I hold cooking classes. Okay, lockdown happened, and then there were no gatherings allowed. So, but now we're slowly coming or going back to normal, the way things used to be. So I do cooking classes. So actually I teach costing as well, with how to do like a simple, let's say you want to sell amagunya, or record, as very record because it's common, record. Uthole ukuthi umuntu upholoni la uthenga khona uthenge yena islice sepholoni usidayisa nge-R1. But if usucalculate kahle usumenza isi-costing yena islice sopholoni ngoba isidayisa nge-R1 yena usithenge nge-R150 la order khona. Ispoon se-arch mhlawumbe usidayisa 50 cent. Masumenza isi-costing like beka everything on the table yena usidayisa 50 cent mhlawumbe 70 cent. So uyabona ukuthi people are struggling with doing, and umangala ukuthi ngibusy kodwa angenzi profit, I can't pay for my overheads, it's costing. So I do costing on my cooking classes. So my cooking classes, they're gonna begin anytime soon. The problem now with Newcastle doing cooking classes, I'm struggling to find a venue a kitchen where there is gas stove, there's pans, there's everything, kitchen gadgets that can work to teach people. I've applied for a space somewhere around Labunzwa Hospitality. I don't want to mention names. I don't know what's their problem. Okay, topic for another day. But I'm working on that. So cooking classes, you must attend my cooking classes so that you can learn about costing. Or you can even approach me privately. I gave my social media platforms. If you need my number, please use it for good reasons.
Does that also answer the
Yes.
question of giving back to the community?
Yes, but there is an answer for that as well.
Oh, okay.
So, or you can contact me with a bafo, business idea, and I'm going to share costing. I cost a range plate, and no check, and your man apparats, and cabbage from book dice, you know. And then going back to Kuzana, with how the community has been supportive and how am I planning to give back to the community. Okay, I've currently picked up 4 families, charity that I'm gonna supply with month-to-month grocery, but not month-to-month, it will depend on that month. But if things are going according to my plan, it's a month they will receive a grocery voucher every month from me, and then target another kid to get them school shoes, and then maybe another 4 or 5 candidates or young chefs, people who can't afford to go to tertiary, to culinary organizations or institutions that cannot afford those fees to come and study with me.
We're going to take 2 more questions so that, because people are hungry out there.
Yeah.
He needs to cook. I want to ask you a question, and this is very important, especially when it comes to the black community. As you said, they always push you to be a doctor or whatnot. The minute you say, I want to go be a chef, obviously, oh, you're pagan. You're pagan. So how do you, I know you've spoken about this, but I want your response. How do you then, what would you advise to kids who want to cook and then find that barrier with their parents? Because their parents want them to do big home and whatnot. Like a kid, how can a kid, an 18-year-old you, approach it to their parents and say, Mama, Tata, this is what I want to do?
Yeah. It is very important to do something that you love, that you are passionate about in this lifetime. Because we see many students, many people dropping out from tertiary institutions because bafunde or bafunda into umama kothi elekhasi ngothisha ekhaya odokotela ngeke nje ufune ukuthi uzoba isoccer player ubona umuntu eyokwenza medicine uya drop out a few years down the line and sekumosheka imali enkulu. So it's very important to discover ukuthi uyifune. That's the first step, ukuthi wena kahle kahle uthandane, and then udiscover talent yakho or your passion bese uyiphelezela ngemfundo.
Sure.
Indlela yethu approach your parents ubatshela ukuthi yazi mina kahle kahle ngifuna ukuba wenze interior, you know, ufuna ukwenza nje deco design, deco yomuntu yasendlini, interior design, you know, leyo nto inemali kakhulu. Yes, ngeke baze bayibona. There are always ways to approach and to address it to your parents, but the most important part kumele uyibeke ngayo kubo, kumele bakhombise because bona bafuna, and that's another problem yenza ukuthi abantu abaningi bafail even in businesses. Bafuna imali kuqala, they want overnight success. Uthi nje namhlanje boom, sengihamba nge-Range Rover, sengihlale e-Ivory Hill, sengihamba Cape Town, sengiyaposta nama-Vev. That's the problem with black people. The little that they get bafuna impahla. God, the little that you have invest in your equipment, like sometimes I'm even scared to go to a salon. It's how totally no dye, no cream, no relax. But uti, he's purpose driven. Business small things. So approach baby bazali bakuthi ufuna ukuba interior hayi udokotela labafuna ukuthi ngowe ngendlela leyo ukuthi yemali because
Sure.
and if you do something that you are passionate about and that you love with all of your heart, it just comes.
It's not even,
It comes, and you work effortlessly. You work. I'll swear to God, cool, because into a time you put all your heart on you, and you don't do very busy. I'm a customer. Be exposed.
You are attract what you are. No, I feel you.
Yeah.
I think give someone else to read your question. It's just we want to hear different voices. Any other questions? Otherwise, no. Otherwise, we will just listen to the journalist. What's your next question, sir?
Okay, I'm just gonna combine both because I think they can form. Okay.
And because you are a journalist.
So. How is it important for the chef to remain dynamic? And the second one is saying how important it is for customer service business.
How important it is for a chef to remain dynamic.
Very nice.
Customer service.
Yes. Okay. To be in the food industry, things the food changes now and again. Okay, I'm traveling, but I haven't traveled to some places that I want to go to. But I do travel a lot, so that ngizo exploration, different cultures, different food, different cuisine, different spices, different textures, the way of living. Yeah. So if you are a chef, the kind of dessert that I've learned 10 years ago, it's a different dessert in this new millennium. So when I'm creating a fine dining experience, and then in offer shabandu, a creme brulee, or jelly, custard, or malva pudding. I can't. You can actually make that at home. A chef should offer something that will blow people's mind, that will say, wow, what is this? So you have to be creative. You have to, at the same time, you have to be authentic. You have to be yourself, get inspiration from other chefs who's been there long time ago, learn from them, buy food magazines, be willing to learn, be hungry to learn. There are so many things that you don't know. Buy other chefs' cookbook. Buy a chef from India, buy a cookbook from China, buy a chef from the USA, buy a cookbook all around the world, and then collaborate, and then by that you remain dynamic. And then customer service is very important, because especially if you are a chef that is self-employed like me, you are running your own business, customer service is number one. First of all, a very crucial point, treat your customers equally. But treat with respect, with dignity. It's too disappointing. Engathi akafodi or engathi manje angazi yayibona lento enziwa abantu abamnyama nje masebele phezulu. So it's very important to treat customers equally. Respect time. You must be very punctual. Punctuality makuthiwa nje, okay, nayi catering chef, nayi tender, sidinga ukudla breakfast abantu about 30, sidinga ngo10, musufika ngo11. Fika ngo10 exactly, and musukuba nezitori masufikile sukhohlwa ipuni sekagijinya, now you are running around like a chicken. So it's very important ilokhuza ne customer service. If customer service yakho nje has to be number one,
sure,
the best.
Before we wrap it up, I have one final question. As a comedian, it takes some time to find.
Who's a comedian?
Me, the supermodel.
Oh, okay.
Did you believe me when I said I was a supermodel? Carry on with that thought. It takes some time to find your voice, and then you even musicians, and then you have a sort of signature about you. There's certain times when people know that Mbu's on stage, and then there's a certain way I tell my jokes. Do you find that in your industry? Because I think it's also artistic in a lot of ways as a chef. Do you find that you have a signature about the way you make food? Like whether you make cake, mincemeat, or what, there'll always be something Chef Linda about it. Do you have that?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I'm sorry to divert, but I just want to give you another point. also on customer
I'm a
service.
journalist.
Absolutely, figure manje, and it's something that many people bayithatha kancane, and it's very important.
Sure.
Hygiene, cleanliness. When you work in the food industry, you have to be from your beard, from your nails, from your uniform, from your shoes, from the way you present the food. It's important because people first eat with the eyes before they taste with their tongue. Okay, yes. Do you watch Siba, the Cook Network? The Food Network. This lady who cooks.
I've seen.
Every time when she cooks, she says Sibalicious. That means Uguti in every dish. Sometimes I like her because she brings in ama recipes from other chefs, but at the same time she acknowledges those chefs. She gets permission first. Like musicians, if uzokwenza ingoma yomuntu, yeah. So bese afaka ke signature yakhe kuleyo dish athi uyithi kancane. Yeah. So that goes without saying again. Whenever I'm doing a recipe, whether I create it from the scratch or it was inspired by some other food or some other chef, there will be a signature ingredient, herb, spice, whatever you call it, chef. And I like to work with gourmet food, but I don't want to say unfortunately. Yeah, but people around me are.
He said unfortunately.
No, but people around me, hey, abantu basastruggle mana ukhipha imali kodwa bayathanda izinto ezinhle. Let me just put it nje, never sugarcoat it. Umuntu ayifuna into enhle emnandi eningi, but masumtshela iprice yayo. Yabo umuntu azancamela nje ukuthi hey athi ngithengela nje idonut yasespark at R250 but ngiyawenza ama donuts awama R750 and imnandi yami. And I understand ukuthi ngifaka into how much effort I put into making this donut. Uthi ngithengela yasespark ka R250 ngeke kuyabiza lo. Yabo. So yeah.
But you've got your signature.
Yeah.
That reminds me, when we grew up, my grandmother used to sell, I don't know what you guys call it in Zulu, bombi, like ice. Bombi, the ice in a like frozen ice.
Frozen ice. Ice is spread.
Just spread like in a plastic.
Yeah, spread.
And she used to put vanilla essence in hers. So it tasted almost milky. It brought people from Tanzania, from all over, and everyone used to sell bombi, like because it's easy, most like oros, and then you put them in the fridge.
Yeah.
But she used to put. I never knew that it was vanilla essence, but she used to put vanilla essence, and the whole of Tanzania used to come just for bombi bakako. Like we were famous, the whole street.
Yeah.
I used to steal a lot of money to go buy bombi somewhere else or something. But I can appreciate that, and it made me think of that story.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Creative Hub Masterclass, and we've just had Chef Linda. His details will be on as soon as we post this. Thank you very much. My name is Mboom Songela, not the supermodel, the stand-up comedian. Thank you very much, guys.